Rohit Sharma has had a fantastic series. Virat Kohli, like I said, he scored his 100, his first since 2018. But there's a man who's not very happy, other than Vedam, and that is Sunil Gavaskar. This is what Sunil Gavaskar had to say. This is a column that Sunil Gavaskar has written for the midday newspaper. And if we could put that quote up for our viewers. He says the runs scored by Rohit Sharma and Virat Kohli against this West Indies attack begs the question, what did the selectors learn that they didn't know already? Wouldn't it have been better to try out some youngsters and see how they take to Test cricket? Or is it that the selectors don't want any sort of challenge from the younger lot to the established players? Now, this is what Sunil Gavaskar has written in his column. Fair to say this, Vedam, given how well Rohit Sharma has done in this series and Virat Kohli as well. And I also don't understand because, see, at the end of the day, what the there were just before, I mean, in front of Ajit Agarkar, there was this series, and by the time he came in, basically, this series was halfway done, or at least they'd gone, the team had been selected. And then he had the South Africa tour for those 2 test matches. So I don't understand how you would drop someone like a Rohit Sharma or Virat Kohli for this series and then bring them back for South Africa tour because you'd want the experience. So I don't know what is right here. Help us.
Yeah, see, my dissatisfaction with the selection was not because they had chosen these 2 or 3 veteran cricketers. We always knew what they were capable of doing. But if the process is over 2 year period for the next World Cup, World Tennis, what am I saying? World Test Championship final, then we need to unearth new players to come through, new youngsters to come through. Because I'm not so sure whether any of these 3, that is Rahane, Rohit Sharma, or Virat Kohli, would really last the next 2 years. Maybe Kohli because he's fitter than the others, but I'm not sure about the other 2. So we needed to find more batsmen, and the best way would have been this West Indies tour, which could have blooded some of them. You blooded just one Jaiswal, maybe another 2 or 3 we could have gone with. Had one experienced batsman, and the rest could have been others. I am not looking at it as a conspiracy theory like Mr. Sunil Gavaskar is doing. He's saying it's been done to protect the youngsters. No, I'm not looking at it from that angle at all. What I am trying to say is that you need to build a team for the future. And the best place actually to start that would have been the West Indies, because let's face it, they are one of the weakest test sides. And we're going abroad playing them, and it's easier to play abroad, like I said, for any youngster without all the pressures of the home crowd, home media, and a whole lot of other issues here. So it would have been better if they had chosen a couple of others. If that had gone wrong, if that failed, then maybe we would have fallen back on Rohit Sharma and Virat Kohli. Now, looking at the South African series, yes, it's a long way off. So how are you going to blood a youngster for that series if, let's say, God forbid, one of these 2 or 3 get injured? Where are you going to blood them? You're straight away going to push them into the deep end and
Yeah.
hope that they swim. So in that context, it is that I said that we needed to try at least 2 or 3 other youngsters in this series.
Okay, fair enough. But what I think is that maybe in the second test match, they could have got someone like a Ruturaj Gaikwad, Chetan, which you suggested, right? We'd been talking about it because that would have been one way to go about it. That do not drop the others, but maybe go in with an extra batter. And you already know that you were going to be, that you're a much stronger side. Just give Ruturaj Gaikwad an opportunity.
Well, looking at the pitch in the second test match, they perhaps felt that they needed 5 bowlers, and that's why they played 5 bowlers. But again,
Yeah.
they played the wrong set of 5 bowlers. I thought they should have played a third spinner on that pitch. But that's a totally different conversation. Talking about what Mr. Gavaskar said, in a way, he's right. But I think his comments would have been more right if they had come before the series, similar comments. And I think he did
Exactly.
make those similar comments. But now, post-series doesn't really make sense because A, we did not have a chief of selector before the series, so they could not have taken
Yeah.
such big calls like leaving Rohit Sharma out or Virat Kohli out unless and until they themselves opted out. But they had no reason because we already had a 1 month gap before the series. So there was no reason for them to opt out. So once they were part of the squad and the selectors did not want to remove them and chief of selector was not there, so it all became about not rocking the boat. But yes, the questions do stand. What is Rohit Sharma's long-term future as test opener or a test captain? Virat Kohli's form. Yes, in the second test match, he looked comfortable, scored that 100, but overall, he didn't look very comfortable in the first test. And his numbers before the series were worse than Chiteshwar Pujara. So obviously the selectors did not have the courage to drop somebody like a Virat Kohli. So all of that, like I said, all of that was in the past, pre-series. Post-series is a totally different landscape because they've scored runs. Yes, there's nothing new to learn, but again, it's not about learning at the moment. It's about not rocking the boat, letting these players some time and get some time in the middle, get those runs flowing again. I think the big positive is that both these batsmen are in a bit of confidence now.